Some pretty great things happened in this game. Alex Newhook scoring again, really clicking with that first line. Cole Caufield getting his 17th of the season, staying on a 50-goal pace. But the big thing from tonight, Jesse, was Lane Hutson putting himself in the names of some of the greats and solidifying himself as second in rookie scoring. There is a lot we got to break down despite this loss coming up in this episode of Habs Digest. Plus, we got to talk a bit about the Laval Rocket, so stick around. Jesse, let's just start with the Rocket because we want to stay positive in this. I know that loss sucks, but we're going to bring you up to speed on the Laval Rocket first, and you'll be happy because check this out. Adam Engstrom sniping a beauty there as they throw pretty much everything imaginable onto the ice. Anyway, Owen Beck also scores this beautiful goal in the third to make it 5-4. Not only that, Owen Beck also had another beautiful goal earlier in the game, Jesse. That one there to tie it in the third, and of course the other one that we just showed to win it, the game-winning goal in the third period. He has been unreal. Laval is now still third in the AHL. This has been, I mean, look, for every loss Montreal has, it seems like there's always something good happening in the system.
For sure, and Owen Beck, one of the points leaders in the AHL, one of the best young players in the AHL, Josh. I was a big Beck truther. I'm so surprised by this. Like, is he right now, like, is he kind of going over your expectations? Because I know for me right now, because his handprints were all over this game. You know, like first we see like even earlier in the clip, there was this behind the back pass to Engstrom and then being clutch. Like Beck is starting to get this amazing reputation of being able to score those goals when it matters, showing that he can be dynamic in the offensive zone, jumping off those pucks off the face-off win and getting nice shots off with the amazing stellies to boot. So just the fact that we're seeing this offensive game, you know, like he's got 20 points in 23 games along with that defensive game. This has got a lot of Habs fans very excited for next year.
For good reason, because like that was the one thing we were wondering about with Beck. His OHL point production was always like, it's not bad, but like you wish it was a bit better for an NHL level prospect, and it was pretty good when he got traded at the end of last season. You're like, he might just get it. But then since coming to the AHL this year, I mean, he was hoping to make the Habs out of camp. Didn't really work out. They had a lot of other guys like Kapanen even who were ahead of him on the depth chart. But this guy took him a little while to get going in Laval, but man, is he ever going now. Like you said, the offense is not even the question anymore. The defense is still good. Face-off percentage, I can't really find any reliable stats. So if someone has his face-off percentage and they can leave it down below, that'd be great. But yeah, Jesse, I know the same as can be said for you. Like, I don't think any of us expected Owen Beck to be a near point per game player in the AHL. And I think I was expecting maybe like, you know, through 23 games, wouldn't have been shocked to see 12, 13 points. And I would have been happy with that as like a 2C or something, let him develop. But it's been good. But it's not only him. Adam Engstrom too, Jesse. This guy, I mean, I was very high on him last year. You were as well. We loved tracking his playoff games for Rogel last year as that team did the Cinderella run to the finals of the SHL. But he has been beyond impressive this year as well, just adding to the depth of defensemen, though this one on the left side for the Habs going into the next couple of years.
And showing that great skating like we know that he does, getting into that open space and with the shot to really finish it off. This is an interesting prospect because we saw early at camp, he started it really strong. For sure, kind of dwindled there. You have to kind of maybe chalk that up to a little bit of that experience. As he kind of gets older and develop, you just feel like that stronger camp will just kind of continue further and further along till potentially he's making the Montreal Canadiens team.
Yep, you never know, right? And he can play both left, he can play on the right side, he can do pretty much everything, and he's one of the smoothest skaters around. That's something we saw in the preseason and in camp, so really excited to see what happens with Laval, but just wanted to get you guys excited, hyped up for that. But look, we do got to talk about this game, Jesse, and this was a game that really felt like, look, they gave it away. I mean, the first period and second period were amazing. The Habs came out absolutely flying with this first goal from Newhook. So happy to see our boy Newey getting on the board. We'll cue that animation in a second here. Getting that little cheeky goal over Logan Thompson. And even there, I thought he scored that second one. It looked like he celebrated like he did, but he didn't. But our boy Alex Newhook, scoring his 6th of the season, still doesn't have an assist yet, though, Jesse. I don't know how that happens. He doesn't have an assist. Lane Hutson doesn't have a goal. I'm not saying it's going to happen, but it just might. As we take a look at the box score, let's focus on these positives, Jesse. Cole Caufield staying on 50-goal pace with his 17th of the season. That first line was absolutely rocking tonight. Plus ones across the board for them, I think. Let me double check. One for Newhook, one for Caufield, one for Suzuki. Really, really nice. Just wanted to give a shout out to Newhook for really fitting in on this line because when he's had good starts to games, he has continued rolling. And yes, I know we had a bad third, but that line seemed to be good throughout.
Yeah, great to see him have a good game because he's kind of needed this a little bit. This is still going to help his confidence going forward. That's some big takeaways that not only was he helping to kind of contribute, but he was really starting off the plays, being the catalyst on that line. Obviously that first line for the Montreal Canadiens through a large part of this game was looking very good. So some good signs there that, of course, we're liking what we're liking from that second line. But Newhook kind of clicking there just really helps what Martin St. Louis wants to do so much.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing with this game is, like, when you can get that first line rolling in that first period, it really sets the tone. And I thought Montreal did a good job of keeping that pace throughout the first and second period, but it started to slow down. But then in the third, it came back, Jesse. Honestly, like, the big thing that they gave away this game was 4 breakaways, 0 goals. And for a fact Marty St. Louis is going to be giving them breakaway shootout drills on Monty and Primeau at practice tomorrow before their Monday night game against the Anaheim Ducks. Look, I don't want to spend too much time on that because let's just be honest with ourselves. Logan Thompson, some of that was on Montreal, but Logan Thompson was phenomenal tonight. I just got to give praise where praise is due. He was so good. But I want to focus on one other guy, Jesse. I got to focus on our boy Lane Hutson, because not only did he score his 18th point of the season, this is not up to date for tonight's game. He's now played 27 games and has 18 assists. He's second behind only Michkov, who's on a nice little streak himself, to the dismay of Habs fans. Jesse, most assists in the season by a rookie defenseman in their team's first 25 games. Look at the names Lane Hutson is up with. Brian Leetch, Cale Makar, Jeff Brown, Chris Chelios, Nick Lindstrom, and Larry Murphy. So many prolific, elite Hall of Famer defensemen. He is now, where is it? There you go. 18 points, 27 games, 20 assists in 29 NHL games. This guy continues to show up on the scoreboard night in and night out. Whether you notice it or not, he is creating the offense for Montreal. And it wasn't just on the plays he got assists on. This dude was creating chances left and right the whole night.
Yeah, his absolutely historic pace continues. We're going to need to look and bookmark this for the future reference here. Seeing him being only 2 points behind Lindstrom, one of the greatest defensemen of all time. We're seeing like 1-2 points. What is it behind Makar right now is just absolutely unreal. And this isn't the only metric. Like, there's many where he's kind of being right up there with them. And this isn't the first time for Hutson. This goes back to him being in the NCAA, where he's getting those comparisons to Brian Leetch in terms of amounts of points scored, in their games, in their freshman seasons, everything else like that. So it's interesting to see that he's hung with them before, but this is now sticking at that NHL level. What he's doing is absolutely elite. And I know maybe some people are saying that I'm getting ahead of myself. We're talking about the Olympics, maybe in 2026. Will Lane Hutson be a part of that conversation?
He's in the conversation.
He's got some things against him being a little bit smaller, but like, my goodness, what he's doing right now, like those metrics, he's going to be highly coveted by whoever's making this team. Going to be very interesting to see going forward. I have to feel like, he could definitely make a Team Canada best on best team in the very near future even. That is how good this player is.
I'm so excited to see what the future holds for Lane Hutson. Like, this guy, I don't know. Like, again, you look at these lists, the dude's up there at the top of rookie scoring, and he's the only defenseman up there. I mean, 18 points and now 27 games. He's on a 6-game point streak, Jesse. Like, this dude just keeps his point streak going. Suzuki did as well, by the way. Suzuki kept his point streak going. It's just those guys getting on the board night in and night out, and that's the one thing that's keeping this team rolling. Well, that third period was really less than ideal. I mean, goal after goal, a brutal penalty call on Josh Anderson. Lane Hutson did probably deserve that penalty later. Just a bit of a collapse defensively, a bad bounce to Tom Wilson with his swollen cheek. I mean, look, as much as we can hate Tom Wilson, that dude's tough as nails. Like, the fact that he came back and played through that's crazy. But Cole Caufield again, 17 goals. Jesse, let's just end this off by getting a prediction. Are we saying 50? I think at this point we have to. This guy's finding the back of the net no matter what. And more importantly, is Patrick Laine going to try and fight his way up to maybe try and score 30 this season? Because I think that's his goal. If we can get 50 from Caufield and 30 in Laine, that's setting the bar very high. And I don't expect that from Laine. But I think those should be goals these guys are striving for. And if they can do it, I think we're in for a nice year next year at the very least, if not this year.
100%. Cole Caufield being one of the very best players on the power play in the NHL. Now, last we were looking second in the league in scoring in that department. And he just continues to just kind of find a way from this team, which I just find beyond impressive. It almost seems like he's kind of a new man with that number 13. He was already great to begin with, but now all bets are kind of off. You can just tell he has that greater purpose, that greater mission of why he's playing the game, why he wants to score the goals that he does, and the Montreal Canadiens are just that much better for it.
I think we're sleeping on the point production too sometimes. Nick Suzuki staying point per game. Cole Caufield now 25 points in 27 games. Like, early in the season, those assists weren't coming for him, but they're starting to roll in now, Jesse. He's making some great passes now, especially on the power play when you have another elite sniping threat like Patrick Laine. I think some more are going to come. But hey, that's going to do it for this episode of Habs Digest. I think, I hope we gave some positivity, some good things to look forward to in this video. And if you enjoyed, hit the subscribe button right now. It's completely free. And if you're watching at this point in the video, I think we've earned it. I'm Josh Goss, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.